Whether it's Thanos wielding the Infinity Gauntlet, Doctor Doom becoming the God Emperor, Griffith joining the God Hand, or Bane breaking Batman's back, sometimes the villain wins, and the world of Transformers is no different. Today, we'll dive into the history of a character that would take control of Cybertron and harvest the sparks of its paralyzed inhabitants, align himself with Unicron to help the Chaosbringer attempt to devour Earth, and lead the Predacons in the Beast Wars. Prepare to explore a character that epitomizes unwavering ambition in its darkest form. This is the dark side of Transformers, the story of Beast Wars Megatron. In the vast, intricate lore of the Transformers universe, Beast Wars emerges as its next chapter in 1996. Set in the distant future after the end of the original Generation 1 series, while time had passed and the conflict between the Autobots and Decepticons had been relegated to history, the battle was reborn into a new struggle between the Maximals and Predacons. At the helm of the Predacons was the Tripredacus Council, who patiently waited for their opportunity to overthrow the Maximals, only for their plans to be interrupted by Megatron and his quest for power, a thirst shared with the infamous Decepticon leader who inspired his namesake. Despite his homage to the original Megatron, Beast Wars Megatron is a unique and distinct character with his own ambitions and ideals. He's a charismatic leader, a brilliant strategist, and an eloquent speaker. Using these skills, he would form his own team of Predacons and set his sight on the Golden Disc. This relic from a forgotten era contained not just a map to abundant amounts of Energon, but also plans from the original Megatron that, if enacted, could rewrite history. Seeing an opportunity, Megatron and his team stole the Golden Disc and ventured to prehistoric Earth. Their mission was clear: amass large amounts of Energon and return to Cybertron to finally defeat the Maximals. But fate would pit them against Optimus Primal and his Maximal crew, setting the stage for the Beast Wars. Using transwarp technology, both Predacons and Maximals would be transported to a strange new world, where they were forced to adapt, taking on the forms of Earth-like native animals, with Megatron assuming the fearsome form of a Tyrannosaurus Rex. This era not only gave rise to new characters, new transformations, and new identities, it also set Megatron on a dark path, one filled with treacherous schemes and insatiable ambitions. But the Beast Wars was just the beginning. Its sequel series, Beast Machines, Megatron's ambitions became much darker and much wider. Having broken free of his imprisonment aboard the Axlon at the end of the third season of Beast Wars, Megatron would arrive at Cybertron before his adversaries and quickly seize control, releasing a virus and turning the planet into a cold, technological nightmare, void of organic life. His vision of Cybertron was one of pure, technological perfection, viewing organic life as a blemish on its surface. Through an extensive system of mind control and the forced conversion of Cybertronians into Viacon drones through the removal of their sparks, Megatron came perilously close to achieving his dream of a cybernetic utopia. The ideological battle between Megatron's tech purity and the Maximal's techno-organic elements set the stage for intense confrontations that will culminate with Megatron devouring stolen sparks and with the deaths of both the Predacon leader and Optimus Primal. His characterizations between Beast Wars and Beast Machines illustrate that he's more than just a villain. He's a force of nature, constantly evolving, adapting, and working towards his vision of reshaping worlds and timelines. Megatron's very essence is underscored by a deeply rooted ambition and cunning that often leaves both allies and enemies struggling to keep pace. While his original inspiration, G1 Megatron, was often characterized by brute strength and a distinct lust for power, the Beast Wars incarnation would add layers of scheming and manipulation that would arguably make him even more dangerous. Megatron is an intelligent, articulate, and charismatic leader, yet beneath his polished appearance lies a ruthless tyrant willing to do anything to achieve his goals. Unlike other villains, who may be driven by wealth, personal vendettas, or revenge, Megatron's ambitions are largely ideologically based. He genuinely believes in a Predacon-led future and sees the Maximals as obstacles to his vision of Predacon rule. One of his most defining characteristics is his ability to plan multiple steps ahead. Ever patient, he doesn't rush his plans unless absolutely necessary, but when he does act, it's with decisiveness and ruthlessness. Not without his faults, he has a flair for the dramatic, buying his enemies time to thwart his plans as he gloats at becoming his own worst enemy. Even with these flaws, his drive has led him become one of the most dangerous characters in Transformers history, leading him to commit some truly atrocious deeds. Throughout the Beast Wars series, Megatron perpetrates a series of chilling actions that stand testament to his cruel and sinister nature. His cold-blooded strategies often include manipulating his own Predacon team, treating them more like disposable assets than allies, allowing his pawns to sacrifice themselves to further the King's goal. Under his reign, both Predacons and Maximals alike undergo psychological and physical torture, bearing the brunt of his dark ambitions. This torture can be seen in episodes like Bad Spark, where Megatron splits a piece of Protoform X's indestructible spark and uses it to manipulate his hostage, now known as Rampage. Yet, it's in another episode, Other Voices Part 2, where Megatron's true ruthlessness takes form. As Optimus Primal desperately tries to prevent the use of the Vox Planet Buster, Megatron locks his escape pad, believing him to be destroyed alongside the alien weapon and displaying a frightening extent of his mercilessness. This act not only exhibits his relentless pursuit of power, but highlights the depths he is willing to go. While despicable and not caring for the life of ally or foe, he's also not concerned with the space-time continuum, as he attempts to stop the Great War before it happens by destroying killing Optimus Prime, guaranteeing Decepticon victory and rewriting the timeline during the events of the agenda. Megatron's sadistic tendencies continue in the Beast Machine series, as he devises plans that are not only violent, but also psychologically tormenting. A glaring instance is seen when he captures the Maximal Rhinox, forcing a transformation into the Viacon general named Tankor, which uses Rhinox strength as a weapon against his friends, but leaves his consciousness locked in his new body. A stark illustration of his vision for Cybertron, where the organic is viewed as a contagion to be eradicated. His deepest descent into darkness, however, lies with his apocalyptic vision of Cybertron, intending to strip the planet of any organic presence by consuming all the sparks and reformatting the world's core. His actions are a harsh display of an iron-fisted rule, stamping out any dissent with horrifying brutality, and using the sparks of others to forward his sinister goals. A series of acts, characterized by an indifference to life, exhibit more than just a villain, but a dark force reshaping the world in his image, forging a path to his utopia no matter the cost. Megatron's dark legacy is more than just the acts, it's the methodology behind it. It's a blend of cunning, manipulation, and sheer willpower. His actions through Beast Wars and Beast Machines further solidify him as one of Transformers' most terrifying monsters. Over the years, Beast Wars Megatron's influence has transcended the original cartoon series, leaving a legacy in various forms of Transformers media, such as the IDW Transformers universe, which would envision Megatron as a Maximal serving under Liege Maximo, until a time-displaced Shockwave would masquerade as Onyx Prime and take over his army. Over the course of time, Megatron and the Maximals would align themselves with Unicron, ushering in the arrival of the Chaos Bringer on Earth. In Netflix's most recent addition to the Transformers universe, War for Cybertron Kingdom, Beast Wars characters will be integrated into the War for Cybertron trilogy. This Megatron is consistent with his Beast Wars personality, both ambitious and scheming, but is thrust into a much larger world, surrounded by Autobots and Decepticons, yet unafraid to question the Decepticon leader that inspired his namesake. Most recent incarnation of the character came in 2021 in the Beast Wars series from IDW. Initially introduced as Galavar and setting his sights on the Golden Disc and the secrets it holds, this Beast Wars will see Megatron continuing his torturous ways by violently interrogating his prisoners, agreeing to a truce with Optimus Prime at the Battle of Vok until he could take an opportune time to strike the Maximal leader, and find himself flung into the future with many cycles to plan his revenge. The beauty of Beast Wars Megatron lies in his adaptability, whether it's the comics, the recent Netflix series, or other incarnations, but his core remains, yet each new incarnation adds a new dimension. Beast Wars Megatron stands as one of Transformers' most terrifying villains. His unyielding ambition, intelligence, and cunning make him a force to be reckoned with, yet his complexities make him all the more compelling. He's not merely a character, he's a cautionary tale of what unchecked ambition can lead to. The story of Beast Wars Megatron serves as a stark reminder that no matter how many heroes there are, sometimes the villain wins. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know down in the comments below, like, subscribe, and check out our Who Is series for more on the Transformers lore. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay handsome.